Frankie Hill was a pioneer of going huge. Madman. Absolutely mind-blowing.
I think Frankie opened up a lot of people's eyes to just how big you could go on a skateboard.
Hi, I'm Frankie Hill, and I like to throw down big fat ollies, grabbing backside or tail. I like to skate the natural street terrain. I don't really like obstacle skating that much. I like just the pure concrete skating.
I'm a real sucker for a mute grab.
I'm a real sucker for a mute.
So I'm heading back to the Propaganda Hill Jump after 35 years. Man, this is crazy. We're at Dos Pueblos High School. This is where I went to school. And this is where the Propaganda Hill Jump is. And Katy Perry went here as well. I looked at the thing almost every day, and I wanted to do it before I graduated, but I just didn't do it. And just went there to show my team manager what it looked like. You know, I was gonna walk away from it after I showed it to him, and he said, you know, Frankie, life's gonna be different if you make this. And I said, you know what? Let's find out, man.
At the time, it was the biggest gap anyone had ever seen. It was a decade later that someone stepped to something that size. You know, I try to ollie the biggest things in the neighborhood and be like, did I look like Frankie? You know? So here we go, we're taking the first look.
To be able to pull this off, a screen grab from a video, and put that kind of detail work is priceless.
Well, this one's on a scratch board, so it starts out as just a blank black slate, and then you have a little scraper tool. One line at a time, everything you remove turns white. You can't really make a mistake. If you do, you gotta start all over.
Did I think that people would still be talking about that DP hill jump 35 years later? No, I didn't. You know, I had certain things I wanted to do in skating, and this was on that list. Honestly, the way I skated, I had no idea how long I was gonna last. I believe my legacy in skateboarding is part of the emergence, let's say, of street skating as it transitioned from vert riding to street riding. As I progressed in my street skating, I started doing bigger and bigger handrails and bigger gaps. Around 89, 1990, I think it was just me progressing in my skate life, and that's probably what I'll be remembered for.
Try 360 kickflip double flip.
I do believe sometimes that I did push skating in a way that got skating to big gaps and big handrails. I was also in a group of skaters that were coming along at the same time. It wasn't long after that we saw the Pat Duffy, the big 50/50s and stuff. You know, I saw where it was going. So I was really happy to have my part in it, to push it the way that I did, but it was gonna go there whether I did it or not. The one single trick that I think impacted skateboarding the most is probably the Propaganda Hill Jump.
You know the measurements of it?
I have no idea what the measurements are. I hope that we're able to obtain it today. I believe it's going to be somewhere around 12 to 15 feet long minimum. This is going to be a pretty interesting situation. I'm going to have to try to pinpoint exactly where I went off so we can get an accurate measurement. They ended up putting a fence at the top and some volleyball courts up there. It might be here, but I just need to check the top to make sure, because there is somewhat of the track that's left on the other side of this. There's what's left of the basketball courts. This might be as close as we're gonna get. The tree marks the spot. Finding the curb is actually pretty critical. And there it is. Right there, there's the curb. When we measure this sucker, it'll be interesting because I've got to kind of try to push that tape measure through the fence a little bit, because the curb, which is roughly 5 inches on the other side of this thing, so I can start it 5 inches on the other side of this and we'll be able to drag it all the way to the bottom and we should be able to have it. That's about it right there.
All right.
Give him the top. There, that's good, as it gets.
I think we're pretty.
Drop it down, John, all the way to the ground and read it on the ground. The measurements on this gap are 18.5 long and 7.2 high. You know, it is what it is. It's a nasty big gap.
Back then, rarely did we have a photographer and a video guy at the same day, at the same time. Until maybe around Jamie Thomas's day where he'd just call everyone up and have them show up all at once. And I'm doing this one time. Did you ever think about going back and trying to get a photo of it?
I didn't, because I really just saw it as a challenge that I overcame.
Well, it's cool now to have like something that is like a detailed image of the big old gap. Now we have something to show, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. This is as good as it's gonna get.
We finally have a still image of Frankie doing this massive gap.
First try, I ollied off it going super fast, because obviously I had no clue what was gonna happen. I didn't know how fast I should go or anything. I landed and wheel bit. The second try, I took a little bit of speed off it. I floated down, and right before I hit the ground, both of my feet came off the board. And then my feet landed on the board, and that's why my hand hit the ground. Todd Hastings said, "Hey man, we're done, we're going, we got it, we got it." And I said, you know, you guys can leave, I'm gonna stay. I need to get this thing good. I'm never coming back here. So I just went back up there, and I took a little bit more speed off it. That was it for me, dude. I mean, that was one of the top moments of my life where I was like, if it all closed out on that day, I still would have been happy. Jeremy Wray has told me a story how he went there and he did the ollie. Markovich has told me he went there and he backside 180'd it, which was absolutely amazing. Pat Duffy's got the beautiful story when he ollies it and broke both of his trucks.
If this gap was still skatable today, who would you like to see hit it now?
I'd like to see Joslin hit it, of course. I would just see what he could do on it. I think he could do quite a bit. The guy's got balls of steel. He's the kind of guy you want going off his scap. I'm sure Sheck might kickflip it, you know, but yeah, I'd like to see those guys hit it for sure. For people to still bring it up 35 years later and still talk about it all the time and give it a lot of credit, it means a lot to me. I don't know what to say. I'm just happy that I did it. What can you say? Jeremy Wray doing the artwork on my propaganda hill. You ain't gonna get it better than that. So me and Jeremy are gonna go ahead and sign all these decks. It's my trick and it's Jeremy's art.
Definitely looking forward to having one of these on my wall.
And they're available on storiedskateboarding.com.
Get yours today.